Hey everyone, John Pinecker with Mojave Valley Daily News. Welcome into the Huddle. I am here with Matt Hanrahan. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you, John?
Good. Your hands okay?
No, you just hurt my boo-boo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Matt spent a good portion of the last weekend and Thursday and Friday putting turf down in Fort Mojave for the new Boys and Girls Club Fiesta Bowl field.
Yeah, super exciting. Lots of people put turf down. It was a really cool event, really cool opportunity to see people helping out the community. So
I can honestly say that while I was there, I watched Matt on his hands and knees placing turf. So it's not like he was standing there going, hey, that goes over there. He was out there working.
No, my daddy taught me better than that. You got to work like everybody else does, right?
That's why your employees appreciate you.
Sure they do.
Me, on the other hand, not so much. No, I appreciate you. All right.
Okay.
This is the Huddle brought to you by Anderson Ford, Bullhead City. So we'd like to thank Matt Curtis and the guys over there for their sponsorship. We are going to go through all the games this week. We got some serious playoff implications, a lot of jockeying for position.
Right.
There's 4 in the AFC and 2 in the NFC that are still trying to get in.
Correct.
Have a legit chance to get in. And then there's a bunch that are, I'll be the 2 seed or the 6 seed or whatever. But we'll go through those as we go.
All right.
We're going to cover some of the big games, and at the end we'll do rapid fire. We'll whip through a bunch, including, this is going to surprise you, the Green Bay Packers are listed under other this week.
Really? I
Yes.
thought you'd give them some
Nope.
preferential treatment.
No,
because the
no.
game means absolutely
Not
nothing.
this week, yeah,
Okay.
because the game means nothing.
That's nice of you.
And it is the Lions, and I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
So, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All right,
do
here
it.
we go. Right off the bat. I love this game, and I can't wait to see it. 49ers at the Rams. 49ers, we mentioned there are 2 teams in the NFC. 49ers are one of them. Win and you get in. However, they are playing the Rams, who are still jockeying for position, still trying to win their division.
Right.
Trying to keep the Cardinals in second place there.
Yep.
Garoppolo missed last week. Trey Lance played pretty well. They figure that Garoppolo, I got a thing today that he practiced today. So it sounds like he's probably going to play today. What do you think? What do you got?
I think they're better off not playing Garoppolo, honestly. I don't like the fact that he's been so up and down. I think it's a big game. I don't think he's played well in big games. You never know. Maybe the rookie comes in and doesn't have that history, that track record of struggling in bigger games. And so I think if he plays, I think it's detrimental to them. I don't think it helps them. Plus, you got a Rams defense that is very active at getting after the quarterback, and Lance is obviously the more mobile quarterback. Rams are looking to win the game, to win the division, which is a big accomplishment. They've had an up and down season. They are at home. I like the Niners here. I think that when push comes to shove, they compete, but I think the Rams take this game. I think they have.
Really?
I think they have, they both have equal amounts to play for, I guess, but I just think they're in general the better team.
Well, I think that the Rams in general are a better team. I will caution you on one thing. I've seen this year after year with Matthew Stafford.
Right.
End of the season, big game. We really need you to come through. Doesn't happen.
Right.
So that would be my only concern. I think that the Rams are far more talented. I would be concerned about having Garoppolo out there, and I understand it's a win or your season's over. But I don't think that I would want to have him out there with the maniacs that the Rams have on defense
Sure.
out there chasing him around. So that would be my concern. It already says that when the season's over, he's going to have surgery. I don't know if he can make it any worse than it is. But
Right. Yeah, I think they should play Lance, and I think even if they lose and if the Saints lose, which you never know, they're still in, right? So I think Lance gives them the best chance to win, but I think the Rams take this game, and I think they take it pretty comfortably.
Okay.
Yeah, you're agreeing with me.
I'm agreeing with you that
Okay.
the Rams win. I don't know if it's going to be comfortably. I think that there are going to, if you're a Rams fan, I think you're going to spend a lot of time watching TV going, oh, Stafford, what are you doing?
Yeah, but it's Stafford with the Rams and not Stafford with the Lions. So there's defense there, there's offensive weapons, so I don't know. We'll see.
True. All right. The other side of it, Falcons at the Saints. Again, the Saints have to win. They've had an up and down year all year long. They started out great, faded, came back a little bit. When I read that they were still in contention to get a playoff spot, I was
surprised,
shocked.
right?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is an upset this week. I don't like the Saints at all. I haven't most of the season. I think that it's been hit or miss on their defense. If their defense plays well, then the Saints win. They have no quarterback play. I don't think they go into the game thinking that they're being confident about winning. I think it's been such a difficult season for them, and I think it just continues that way. I think the Falcons have an opportunity to play kind of the upset ball here and surprise some people. They have something to play for. They have a reason to knock out the Saints, which is huge. It's not like the Rams can beat the Niners and the Niners are out, right? I think the Falcons have something to play for here. I think the defense keeps them in, but I think it's a really close game, and it comes down to the Falcons just having that little bit of extra kind of energy to say, we're going to put it to you and knock you out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the spoiler role is something that a lot of these people really, you see week 17 typically every year, 18 this year, but you see a lot of teams really step up during those times just because, hey, this is it for us anyway, so let's just put everything out there and you know, go for it on times we normally wouldn't go for it, just to kind of make a statement, because tomorrow we pack up our stuff.
Correct, and I think they're pretty healthy, the Falcons. You know, from what I've seen, they're pretty healthy. They've got the majority of their players in there that can do some damage. And you know, again, week 18, week 17, whatever it is you're dealing with a lot of teams that have nothing to play for. Do guys play? Do guys not play? It's really hard to pick winners and losers, of course, and then you're dealing with COVID and everything else. So this is a Falcons team that has most of their players that's in an upset, you know, kind of position. I think they do it this week.
Okay.
You're going to agree with me. It's okay.
I'm going to agree with you just because I'm not a Taysom Hill guy.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, I think, is there was a guy, was it Jim Jensen, number 11 for the Dolphins 40 years ago, that he was like...
I wasn't born yet.
They had him in quarterback. Well, I might be exaggerating with 40 years, but he was all over the place. He was a slot receiver, and then he was running back, and then he was quarterback, and they had him returning kicks and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Master, or was it jack of all trades, master of none?
Right.
And that's what I think of Taysom Hill. So
I'm glad we agree. I like that. I like that. That's the one we'll get wrong because we both agreed on an upset, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Cowboys and Eagles. This is kind of an interesting one. The Cowboys are still, well, I mean, last week it's really going to take a Herculean effort for the Cardinals to beat the Cowboys.
Right.
They're going to have to play their best game. The Cowboys are trying to get this #1 seed still. And from what I saw, the Cardinals just, I mean, how do you hold Zeke to 16 yards the whole game?
Especially at Cardinals defense, right? Who isn't great against the run.
Doesn't stop the run, right. And it wasn't like somebody else picked up the slack. Prescott led them with 20 yards. So they just stopped them completely. You got the Eagles that are in already. They just don't know where they're going to end up.
Right.
What do you think? I mean, for me, I'm worried about the mindset of the Cowboys when they had this great opportunity and they blew it.
Right.
I mean, the Cardinals are a great team for sure.
But are you worried about the mindset of the Eagles that are like, what are we playing for? We're on the road no matter what. We're on the road no matter what. Yeah, I know it's a division game. Who doesn't want to beat the Cowboys, right? I think that the Cowboys need something positive going into week 1 of the playoffs. I think last week hurt them. I think that it's a prideful team. I think they've got weapons on that team and veterans on that team. I think they win this game. I don't like the Cowboys right now. I haven't for weeks. The Eagles are one of those teams that can lose to the Lions but beat the Chiefs, you know, in general terms. But I think the Cowboys step up, and I think they go into week 1 of the playoffs on a positive note. And I just don't think the Eagles have enough to play for.
Well, I think what the Eagles have to look at is how are we going to, and I remember the Packers having this in years past, is there's a great chance that we will be playing these guys again next week.
Sure.
So
what do we show?
Yeah.
That's I agree.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 17 weeks of film already, that whatever, but if you got something game plan specific for the Cowboys, and we're probably going to see them next week, so let's save it for when it's important.
The worst part about Week 18 are these types of games. Are the games that really truly mean nothing, especially when both teams are headed into the playoffs. You got a game against 2 teams that aren't going to the playoffs. Go for it, show it all. Yeah. But this is one of those like throwaway games, if you ask me. Yeah. So I like the Cowboys.
You know what?
Do it, John.
I'm going to Eagles.
I thought that you might.
I just think that. I think that the Cowboys are a little shook after what happened. I think that the Eagles see that and see what they need to do, and I think that they, unlike the Cowboys, I think that they pull out the stops and do whatever.
I could totally see that. I'm not going to say that you have no chance of winning that game, like I would most times that you disagree with me.
Typically, that's what happens. Yes. Well, I'm glad that you took a chance because you're going to be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way.
We'll see what
No,
happens.
not.
I like it.
No,
No, you're
that's
saying,
the way you normally.
gotcha.
I bet.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of teams that. Oof. All right, Bears at Vikings.
Ooh. Ooh, exciting, huh?
I don't know why I kept this in here.
Well, there's only a few games that really matter this week, so you have to,
We'd have
picking
to
and
keep
choosing
some
what
on
to
there,
talk
yeah.
about is a little bit rough.
Maybe I just wanted to talk bad about the Vikings.
Probably
That
because you
could
took
be.
the Packers out, so you're like, I better throw a couple of
I
my
gotta
division
have
teams
something in here,
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Some teams that I know a
Yeah,
little bit
I'll let
something
you lead
about.
the Bears-Vikings conversation. Go ahead, find something interesting to talk about.
This is going to be Montgomery versus what's
Cook.
his name? Cook. Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good old fashioned. I wish it was at the Bears though. It's at the Vikings,
Yeah.
so they'll be indoors. It'll look like this field right back here.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish that they were. Playing out in the snow because I think it's going to be a. Neither one of them have anything really to play for.
Right.
Their pride maybe. Hey, we finished second.
Right, division game. And this is one of those games where, like a lot in Week 18, people talk about positioning for the draft, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any truth to if we lose, we move up? I mean, is there any?
One spot could you? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
There's
either.
got to be pride, right?
But I don't. How about ownership? Does ownership look at a game or management and go, do we want this guy to get hurt when it doesn't matter? If we lose, not the end of the world. We move down. I mean, do they think about stuff like that? I don't know.
But there has to be some conversation about if the Vikings go out there and put it on the Bears, is
Right.
Nagy done?
Sure, I think he's done anyway. Regardless.
think so?
I think he needs to be. Although I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun there. I mean, they haven't figured out quarterback.
So you're
and-
advocating for a guy losing his job? Is that what you're?
Dang, what am I supposed to say? I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Did you just render me speechless for the first time in so many weeks?
Oh, it took 18 weeks, but I did it. Yeah, there was a lot of rumblings in the middle of the year. Actually, there was rumblings at the beginning of the year. If he doesn't get something done, the Bears fan base does not take this.
No.
Year after year after year, they got too much pride. So
Maybe that's the problem.
I think that.
That when the draft happened, they said, "Oh, we went up and we made this move. We had to get a quarterback. Now Nagy has everything he should need. There's no reason why." But that's not true, right? They're missing a bunch of pieces.
Yeah, and it takes time. You can't just put a quarterback in there and
Right.
go, all right, problem solved. I mean, it worked with Trubisky, but I don't know, it did not work with Trubisky.
No, it did not. No, it did not. I like the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings.
You going
too.
Vikings?
Yeah.
All right. We actually turned that into some reasonable sort of conversation about a game. I'm
just-
pretty proud of ourselves.
Babbled and babbled and babbled and then said, I'll take this team.
Maybe we should talk about other useless teams like the Packers instead of taking them out of the list.
The number one seed? I mean. All right, speaking of useless teams, Titans at Texans.
Oh,
All right, I kept this on here because the Titans are still, they still have a legit shot at the number one seed.
Win, and they're number one.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Is that it?
I think so.
I thought that Kansas City had to
I think they are now
lose
number
or-
one.
I think there's something else that had to happen.
Well, if you,
Clinch number one seed with a win.
yeah, if you're number one going into
Or-
the week,
Yeah.
yeah, there's other scenarios, but if they win, they're in against
Doesn't
the
it just
Texans.
seem crazy that the Titans,
I
without
don't
Derrick
know.
Henry, are the number one seed?
No,
in
if
the
you go
AFC?
back on our conversations throughout
Oh,
the
I
year,
deleted our stuff.
there's
as soon as it-
several
here
times
and on
where I
our-
clearly said the Titans might be the best team in the AFC. We talked about it several times. Now you're right.
You can't just blurt out might be.
No,
I mean, you can,
well, there's 16 teams that might be the best team in the AFC.
you know
right?
what? You're correct.
Yeah,
That
but
is
you're right.
true.
Without Derrick Henry, it is a little bit of a surprise. It really truly is. But that speaks, I think, to the AFC and not the Titans. That speaks to
I agree.
all over the board with a lot of these teams. So all the things to play for this week. There's no reason, even though the Texans are playing better, there's no reason why a Tennessee team should lose this game. It just shouldn't happen, right? So I'm going Titans. I'm not going Texans. I can't do
hoping.
it. No, I can't do that. I can't
Yeah,
do that. I got everything to
what?
play for.
I really like Davis Mills. I think that he looks really well. I like his progression. I like the Texans team as, because at the beginning of the year we were like, they got rid of this guy and this guy and this. They've got nobody left. Who's going to play quarterback for them? And then suddenly, halfway through the year, it's kind of like the Patriots, certainly not to that level, but kind of like the Patriots at the beginning. We said, well, they're just horrible, and obviously Brady was the key, and now they're playing great, and I think the Texans have been getting a lot better.
They have. Their defense is getting better. The run game is getting better. They're obviously short a quarterback and a bunch of talent, and they don't look like the worst team in the NFL anymore. And they haven't for several weeks.
Yeah.
But Titans lose this game. That's depressing. I mean, they have everything to play for, right? So
Yes.
Titans.
I agree it's going to be the Titans, but you're not a Davis Mills fan?
I haven't seen enough yet, to be honest with you. I haven't seen enough yet. And here's the other thing with the Titans game. They're talking about Henry coming back for the playoffs possibly, right?
Yeah.
What more to play for than an off week, than a bye week, where your number one running back can get even healthier if he can come play? I mean, they don't win this game, they're in trouble in general, if you ask me. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that if they win this game and they get the week off and they move into the playoffs, do you consider them the favorite to get to the Super Bowl?
I don't trust Tannehill to say they're the favorite, even if Henry comes back. I don't trust him enough. They have the defense. They will have the running game. They have the offensive weapons if guys are healthy. I'm just not dead set on Tannehill. I trust other AFC quarterbacks first, but we'll see.
All right, I'm with you. Titans all the way.
All right.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. That's correct.
Steelers.
Sometimes you really show your age, which I like. I mean, a lot of people probably get the reference, but in general, you don't want to start putting some new age kind of
I need to
quips, is what they're called, in your repertoire of jokes. And
I need to get some hair color for this. I think
maybe
that'll help.
make you look a little bit younger.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Fill
this part of
in.
the face that's the problem.
I don't know why.
Says this guy right here.
All right, Steelers at the Ravens. The Ravens have like 42 things that have to happen for them to get in.
Right.
They have to win, and the Chargers need to lose, and the Colts need to lose, and Miami needs to lose or tie.
Right.
Then they're in.
Yeah, that's it.
Piece of
that
cake.
seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
And they have to hope Lamar's playing. Is he playing this week? I haven't heard.
I have not heard
Yeah.
as well.
And are they a late game?
No, they're Sunday morning.
Because I always think about that, right? I always think about the afternoon games. If the morning games have something to do with who plays in the afternoon games or who doesn't play in the afternoon games, right? I mean,
we're already in, so
Right.
why do I need to play my starter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Or we're out, and I'm not going to play my starter because somebody knocked me out earlier in the day.
Yeah. All right, so let's say Lamar is going to be playing.
Okay.
Steelers are at the Ravens.
Right.
The Steelers have been up and down a lot lately as well. They had this nice emotional win the other day with Roethlisberger, and they paraded him off the field and renamed the downtown after him or something.
Something weird.
Something odd. Is this I mean, what do you think? Do you think the Ravens can suck it up and do this only to have their hopes dashed later when the Chargers beat the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't think this game has anything to do with playoff implications. I think these are two teams that want to beat the snot out of each other and always have. And I think when push comes to shove, regardless of if Jackson plays, and maybe he does, I think the Ravens are the better team. And I think that it's in Baltimore, right? I think they find a way to knock the Steelers out because the Steelers have a better scenario to make it than Baltimore does. Not a great one, but a better scenario. And I think that Baltimore probably looks at this game like, man, we got to win and 150 things have to happen. But if we win, Steelers have no chance. I think that's the scenario, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They have to win. The Steelers have to win.
Right.
Indianapolis has to lose to the Jaguars.
Right, which we don't think is going to happen, obviously.
Right. And the Chargers-Raider game cannot end in a tie.
Cannot end in a tie, right. So Steelers lose, there's no way to get in. And I think that's enough motivation for a franchise like Baltimore and for a team and the players on that field to say, we're going to stick it to our enemy. We're just going to knock them out. I think that's what happens. I like Baltimore here. What you thinking?
I'm going Steelers.
Are you? Good, I like that idea.
I'm thinking they are sending him out on a high.
Right.
They still won't make the playoffs because Indianapolis beats the heck out of the Jags.
Right.
But I think they send him out on a high note. And
well, as a
with a
Cardinal
win.
fan, I hope they send him out on a low note because he's one of my least liked players in the history of the game. Not just because I'm a Cardinal fan, just because I think he's a whiny brat. But we can move on. I don't want to upset any Pittsburgh fans.
Are there any teams outside of yours in the NFL that didn't at some point have a whiny brat on their team? I mean, I know that my team has one right now.
Right now they do, yeah.
You could go Philip Rivers for the Chargers.
That is a great conversation. Let's think about all the whiny brats in the NFL and the history of the NFL. Probably not. I'm sure there's been several on every team.
I know there's one less in the NFL these days.
You think so?
After
what are you referring to? Antonio Brown?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he got the raw end of the deal, but whatever.
You ripped your stuff off in the middle of the game.
I'm joking. He didn't get the raw end of the deal.
He got jobbed.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
So are you advocating for someone losing their job? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah.
No. He quit.
That's true.
All right. Bengals at Browns.
Jeez.
The hits just keep coming.
Yeah, I mean, today Baker Mayfield says I'm going to request a trade if they don't make changes, and he's not a very good quarterback on a team that's still in the regular season and playing. I mean,
Wasn't Baker Mayfield we watched the other day throw 4 interceptions?
The Browns are a mess, and it's 90% of it's because of Baker Mayfield. It is.
Talk about whiny babies.
It was whiny baby.
Yeah.
He is not the talent everybody thought he would be.
No.
Can he make some great plays? Is he exciting at times? Yes, he is. But
His commercials are pretty dope.
I do like his commercials.
Yeah.
There's a few good ones, for sure.
He's at home with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, some of them aren't very good, but I like the one where he gets coffee or whatever that one is. But neither of these teams have anything to play for, though, right? Bengals won their division already, right? They celebrated last week with the cigars. Everything's wonderful. Browns can't make the playoffs. It's a pride game. Are the Bengals going to play anybody this week? I don't know. Joe Burrow got.
Well, you're not going
dinged
to. Yeah, you're not going to play Joe Burrow
No,
he's
right. So for this game, because of those reasons, it's in Cleveland. Baker's probably going to have the best game of his career because now he's, whining about things need to change. Bengals, I think, sit some starters. Mixon's already not playing as well. No Burrow. So this is a game the Browns should win, right? It's for whatever reason, the Browns should win this game. Now it's the Browns. They might not, but I'm picking the Browns. Another chance for you to disagree with me. I'm giving you plenty. I'm giving lobbing them up.
No, I'm going with the Browns as well, but I don't feel strongly about it, and I'm going to actively root against them just because
I am
of that.
too. Oh, I am too. I do not like the Browns by any means, but if I had to pick a game, which I do, I'm going Browns.
Yes, you do. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. It's not for my good looks. It's just for picking games.
Sure, not because you're good
Hurts
looks.
my feelings, but I'll move on. I'll
Radio
survive.
voice. All right, Patriots at the Dolphins. Patriots lost week 1 against the Dolphins.
Right.
Dolphins and Patriots since then. Well, not so much the Dolphins. The Dolphins went on a nice long roll. They looked really well up until last week. The Patriots, they were kind of like I think I can, and they got it rolling. I think this could be a fun game to watch.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. No, nothing to play for necessarily, right?
No, I don't think it's going to change either of their things.
No, Patriots are going to win this game. I know the Dolphins have looked better. I know it's in Miami. I get it. I know Patriots don't have a ton to play for, but they're a momentum type of team. There is some seeding issues, I believe, going on, right? I mean,
so the Patriots can clinch the number 1 seed with the win,
right,
and a Buffalo loss,
right,
and Kansas City loss,
correct, and the
Tennessee loss.
Right. But it's still a seeding issue, right? It's either going to be
2, could be 4,
exactly, all over the board. It's still Bill Belichick. It's still a division game, or Bob or Bruce Belichick, whatever you call him. But the Patriots are just a better team, and there's a need for them to win. There really isn't for the Dolphins except for pride. I like the Patriots. Here it comes again, huh?
Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I totally get that pick.
I think they're just the hot team right now. It's in Miami, so there's no weather thing going on there. I know that Belichick always, and I say this every week, he does probably the best job in football when it comes to focusing on what on the other side can beat you and taking it out.
Right.
And I think that the only thing that you can really count on with the Dolphins is their passing game. So
didn't look good last week.
No.
Tua looked really bad.
Bad week.
He has them. Every quarterback does. Yeah. I get it.
Aaron Rodgers, the first game of the year, had like the lowest passer rating of his entire career.
Now he's MVP, more likely.
More likely.
You're going to try to talk. You're trying to talk yourself out of the Dolphins right now.
I am. I'm trying to talk
the Dolphins.
No, I'm trying to talk myself out of the Dolphins.
Right. You just can't.
But
do it.
I can't do it. I think the Dolphins are the hot team, and I think they're hot at the right time of the year.
Well, listen, I think as this week goes on, we pick games. There's 3 or 4 now that we've already disagreed on. I think if you're right on all those games that we've disagreed on, that gives you an opportunity to maybe catch up to me on the season. Right. So I don't think you're picking games because that's how you feel. I think you're like, man, I got to make up 4 or 5 games. I think so. I think that's what you're doing here.
3, but
I like it. That's the competitive edge in you. I like that.
Just trying to stay out of the
Patriots got
bottom.
this one.
All right. Chargers at Raiders. So we've talked about this several times now. This is whoever wins is in.
Right.
Raiders, I think there's no doubt in my mind anyway that the Chargers are a better team. I do like that, we talked about this before, they flex this game till Sunday night. So if your schedule shows that they're on at 1 o'clock, or I guess it would be 2:30 because it's West Coast, it has been flexed to the Sunday night game. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch,
I
right?
think it will be too. As much as I don't really like either team,
Either
and they're
team.
both up and down. I mean, it's a game of the week. They moved it for a reason. I got to imagine it's high scoring, right? It's got to have offensive, So it should be an exciting game.
We talked last week. Matt Curtis was here, and we talked about it. And Raiders are his guys, it kind of came down to Derek Carr. Derek Carr is such a talented guy, and he's such a good quarterback, and everything else that when he plays, which he did coming down the stretch last week, when he plays the way that he can, he's, in my opinion, he's an elite level quarterback.
Okay.
He doesn't do it enough.
Right.
And I feel the same way about Matthew Stafford. When Matthew Stafford's clicking and he's playing good, intelligent football, I think he's one of the elite quarterbacks. He just isn't consistently able to do that. I saw an interview this morning with Carr, and he was talking about how this is what we've been striving to get to, and this is the way, talking about the way they finished the game. This is what we've been trying to get to, and this is what our thing is. I think that they are. I think that they go the way that Carr goes.
Yeah, I think they have all year. I would agree with that.
And if he's clicking this game the way he was last week, not so much the few weeks before that.
You hit the nail on the head right there. The same as last week would be great, but not the week before that. We wouldn't want that.
Or the week before
but
that.
The week before that, maybe, but not the week before that. Right? You can go on and on and on.
No. Last week, but none of the 3 games before.
Right, none of the 3 games. Right.
These 3 games back here, yes.
Yeah, that seems like the track record of a successful NFL quarterback is 3 bad ones, 2 good ones, 3 bad ones, 2 good ones. Yeah, I think you could say the same thing about the Chargers quarterback.
It sounds like my golf game. 1 good hole, 3 bad ones.
Do you get 1 out of 3?
Well, no, but
okay. Well, we'll see. I think the Chargers quarterback is the same situation as Carr. I think if he's hot, they win. Right? I think this is a phenomenal game because the teams are replicas of each other. They pretty much are replicas of each other. They both have offensive talent. They both got some defensive talent. They're both hard-hitting teams. They both can dominate and lose to the worst team in the league at the same time.
Yes.
I just think when push comes to shove, I don't think home field advantage has anything to do with this. I think the Chargers are top to bottom the better team. I think Carr finds a way to keep them in it, but I like the Chargers here. I think that they are the better team, and I think that they'll find a way to pull it out, last-second field goal, something in that range.
And I believe the Raiders will pull this out because of their return of their all-everything tight end.
Is he coming back this week?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Well, he was supposed to be back last week, and they had the COVID thing, so he missed last week.
Yeah.
But
that'll help him for sure. It's a safety blanket.
in my opinion, he's the best tight end in football.
Well, we'll find
He's
out.
a wide receiver and
He killed me in my fantasy league. I can tell you that.
You had him?
Yeah, of course. And then he didn't
And
play
then
half
he
the
lost,
season.
yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, his season's over. I'll come back now." That's what
Yeah.
he's doing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Personal. It's a personal attack.
Now that he knows you.
I'm very close with Darren. Darren and I are on a first name basis. Yeah. I think this is his name, Darren.
Darren
Yeah,
Waller, yeah.
perfect.
I call him D Dubs.
Oh, do you? D-Dubs.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are really close then.
He said, "Hey, what do you think?" And I said, "I think you should hold out for 1 more week because Matt is got you on
I
his
believe you.
fantasy team."
I believe you. You probably talked to Matt Curtis, and Matt Curtis called D-Dubs instead.
D-Dubs, yeah.
Well, we're different on 5 games. I like that. That'll make
It's
the
a lot.
week. I didn't have any reason to watch football this week. I really didn't.
Now you do.
And now I do. So I'm excited.
All right. Speaking of not watching football,
Oh boy, I knew that was coming.
Seahawks at the Cardinals. This is amazing to me because over the years, this game right here, you'd have went,
Yeah.
because the Seahawks are obviously in the playoffs and the Cardinals are muddled through another 8-8 or 9-7 or whatever season. But now, the Seahawks, for the first time in 10 years, are out of the playoffs. The Cardinals have a chance to win their division, be the number 2 or number 3 seed, I think is what they would end up
If the Rams lose and they win.
the Rams lose and they win, yeah. There's a lot of questions about this game just because of what could happen after the game when it comes to the Seahawks.
And
Is
maybe
it
the
time
Cardinals.
to flush the? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. But go ahead. I interrupted your thought there.
No, but that's what it is. Is it time to flush the whole leadership and purge the defense? And we probably should get rid of Wilson and get somebody for him.
Right.
You know. And I think that the Cardinals, with an embarrassing win over them, they could push that whole thing into
So
effect.
Cardinals don't embarrass anybody is the problem. I mean, if you're a big Cardinals fan or not, you know that every game is close, right? There's not many embarrassing wins for the Cardinals. But I think this is one of those games where, again, what do the Seahawks have to play for? You're right. I think there's going to be some changes over there. There kind of has to be. But we talked about I don't like the Cardinals at home. I've never liked the Cardinals at home. Last week was honestly a surprise win. They have. And last week was a surprise win. I'm going to say I like the Cardinals this week. I think that they find a way to win. I don't think they win a division. I think the Rams probably beat the Niners. But I think they had a good week last week. They want to carry momentum in. They have something to play for. No one's sitting, even though when Kyler plays quarterback, it looks like he's sitting. But so I think they can win this week. When the next few weeks happen, as we start talking about playoffs, if we get to that point, then not playoffs. I don't have a ton of nice things to say about the Cardinals. I'm not happy with them. But I think this is a week that I think they have something to play for. I think they will go out on a good night. I think that they win this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. But and I could talk forever about the Cardinals, but Cardinals win.
Well, are you concerned at all about Wilson and the running attack for the Seahawks against
for sure. Yeah, I'm concerned about
even
pennies.
coming off of that.
That means nothing. The Dallas win means nothing. I put that and just file it away, and it doesn't matter. They're not good against the run. Penny's probably going to beat them up a little bit. Wilson always plays well against them. Usually we beat them in Seattle. They beat us at home. That's kind of been our track record over the last few years. I think the Cardinals find a way, and I think the Cardinals have things to look at when the season's over too, win or lose. If they go out early in the playoffs, then they really have something to look at. But
yeah.
It is not easy being a Cardinals fan. It really truly isn't being easy. You can play it loud.
Look,
it's true.
Look, from like 1972 till 96,
right.
There was not easy being a Packers fan.
Yeah, no, obviously every team has their ups and downs, but I mean this season it's not easy being a Cardinals fan.
Because there's so much talent there, why isn't it just happening?
You can pick it apart. I could talk for hours about Cardinals and why they're good and why they're bad. But they're a playoff team. They're in the playoffs, and if they win this week, I think they have a chance to go very far. Maybe J.J. Watt comes back, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Hopkins comes back, maybe he doesn't. But this week, I'm gonna stick to my Cardinals. You're not.
I am.
You are.
I think the Cardinals beat them by 3 touchdowns.
You've been on the Cardinal bandwagon all year. I like that.
I don't think that the Seahawks have the defense to keep up with the Cardinals offense.
Possibly. They haven't. Our offense hasn't looked great lately, but
you don't have.
Okay.
But if you're going to pick a team in the NFL that is going to make that Cardinals offense look good, it's going to be the Seahawks defense.
Tough passing. They have a very good passing defense. They don't. They can play ball possession. Seahawks, which wouldn't help the Cardinals. Cardinals like to be in and out of possessions, so it's a type of team that could do some damage to the Cardinals. But yeah, the Cardinals need to win this week.
They're going to get an easy win.
Okay.
Mark my words.
I like it. Mark them.
Write it down.
Mark it.
In ink.
In ink.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? Rapid fire.
Rapid.
Colts at Jags. Colts are only 15.5-point favorites.
Really, that's it.
That's all.
The Jags are the worst team in football. There's no doubt about
Right?
it. They're a mess from top to bottom. They win this week. They do not win this week. It's a Colts win. It's a Colts win.
Oh, yeah, I think I had a stroke there. For a minute there, I thought you said.
But again, this is going to be the game we both go, no way, they can't win, and the Jags are going to win. But no, I like the Colts.
Yeah, the Jags kicked the last-second field goal.
Right, exactly, with their left tackle or something.
Yeah. Packers at Lions. I read today that the Packers are not taking their foot off the gas because when they do that, and then they have another week off next week, and that's basically 3 weeks off, that they are concerned about being rusty going into the playoff.
Right.
So they are not taking their foot off the gas. Rodgers may leave early because of his toe kind of thing, but Packers are going to win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Packers because it just hurts to say Lions, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be a close one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is I think the line is 1.
Is it really?
Yeah, because they're assuming
that nobody's going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, if nobody plays, the Lions should win this game.
Should win the game. Yeah. The Washington football team, I heard yesterday that the Washington football team has come up with a new name.
Yeah, they're doing some sort of press conference to announce that they're still the Washington football team.
Pins and
I think that's on total pins and needles. I can't wait. So exciting.
Washington football team.
Like everything else that comes out of Washington.
Yes.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. And that's it. Dud. Washington at the Giants.
Right, Washington.
Okay. Me too.
Okay.
Jets at Bills. 16.5 here.
Again, I know they have something to play for, so I guess you got to go Bills here. Oh, the Jets look good last week, but
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah, they're looking better.
Yeah,
but still,
we're
Bills.
really doing rapid here. I like this.
Panthers at the Buccaneers. Can the Buccaneers really win without Antonio Brown, do you think?
They did last week, surprisingly.
Well,
surprisingly, they had him for half a game.
Yeah,
I guess.
he left and they came back and won.
Yeah, and his shoulder pads were on the sideline for the rest of the game, so maybe that
maybe
that
that's
was
all they needed.
Yeah, no, I like the Buccaneers here. They have reason to win for sure.
Yep. Panthers are starting the great Sam Darnold.
Right.
Chiefs at Broncos.
Ugh.
The Chiefs got to play.
Yeah, and Broncos always play them well, but the Chiefs are just the better team.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they don't win.
And that is it.
I think we did pretty good.
I think we did right.
I don't think we did our normal 79-minute show. We're supposed to put in a half an hour.
We didn't.
Oh,
We didn't.
who knows? Yeah, all right.
5
pretty
minutes?
close. 35
minutes?
So we went down to 10 minutes from last time.
Yeah, they were trying to get us down to
Audience
30
is going to be
minutes.
so upset. They're going to be like so sad.
Where's the rest
how come
of
you
it?
just didn't keep talking?
There's only a couple weeks left, and
That's right.
we need all the stuff we can get. All right. Hopefully you listen to Matt and not me when you place your bets, because
Yes.
based on past performance.
This will be your week. I feel good about you this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This has been The Huddle, brought to you by Anderson Ford of Bullhead City. We hope you guys go down and check them out. You got anything else going on? Any other events coming up that we need to?
Yeah.
We got the Bids for Kids.
Get the Bids
thing.
for Kids, Boys and Girls Club auction. We're still doing sod this weekend on Saturday, just finishing up little spots here and there on Saturday. So go on down if you want to help out. That'd be great. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. It's ready. It's event season's coming up.
La Requesa and the Aztec.
Yes.
What time are you going to be there
8
Saturday?
a.m. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, and thank you for anybody who's watching that helped out. Thank you so much. What a great community project. And we couldn't do it without the support we had.
Yeah, looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time in The Huddle.